In this video, we're going to pick up where we left off in part 1 of the video on estimation. So I was just about to show you guys how to analyze data from the case studies. All right. So to access the case studies, you can either access them directly that are listed under the content somewhere, but sometimes it's easier to just go to or the exercises in the actual book because it has links to the various case studies. So, for example, when you get to questions 24 through 28, I guess, I'm sorry, through 26, these three are going to relate to the Angry Moods database. So to access that, when you click on the link inside the book, you're going to get an overview of the case study, and it tells you what the various variables are, and sort of describes the experiment. And then we can go down to the very bottom, and there is a link to the data in Excel. Okay, so I'm going to download the data from Excel. All right, we'll go ahead and open it when it's done so we can work with it. And then just click the Enable Editing button so that you can make changes as you need to. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is I want to test a difference between memes for anger expression in boys and girls. So you may notice that the way this data is set up, we've got gender over here in column A, and apparently 2 means it's a girl and 1 means it's a boy. And as you can see, they're all sort of mixed up here. So the first thing we're going to do is sort these. So I'm going to select, notice I didn't select the heading, but I'm holding down my mouse and scrolling down so that I select all the data. All right, and you want to be sure, whoops, almost missed, well, I missed one there. You want to be sure and, select the edge there where the 2 is. Okay, so you get 3, 4, 5, etc., all the way down to the very end. Okay, all right. And then we're going to go to data. And then if you click these, this is going to automatically sort by the first column. Don't do that. Select this button that says sort. And then that allows you to do a custom sort. All right. Now we're going to actually use gender. So you select gender there and then hit OK. Now notice we've got all the boys together and all the girls together, and that makes it a little bit easier to work with this data. All right, so I'm actually going to just select the boys here down to 1, and I'm going to go to home here, and I'm actually going to hit this fill bucket to make them yellow. That way I don't accidentally, get data from a girl for my analysis. All right. So I'm going to select, what we're going to do is we're going to compare the anger expression between the boys and the girls. So I'm going to select all the data for anger expression for boys. All right. And I'm going to hold down the control key and then hit C. All right. And that, whoops, well, let's see, don't really need that. That should have copied it, but you see there's a little box going around everything. Okay, so now what we're going to do is open up past. All right, so select past. And what we'll do, I'm actually going to label this column in a minute, but I want to select, you want to select the top cell here, all right, and then hold down the control key and hit V, and that should paste all the data in from the boys. All right, so just to keep track of it, we can actually label that. If you click on the name here, you can put boys. All right, now let's go back to the spreadsheet and get the data for the girls. All right, so I'm going to get all these down here in white. Those are the girls. All right. Hold the control button down and hit C. All right. Let's see here. Now we're going to paste those into the next column. All right. And then go up here and change this to girls. Okay. So now we have, notice there's like different numbers of them. So if you try and do this by hand, you would have to, first find a difference between means and then do a confidence interval using a harmonic mean in the standard error. It's all very complicated. So for something like this, when you have all the data, a lot of times it's just quicker to use past. All right, so I've clicked on the boys column. Now I need to hold the shift key down to click on the girls column. Now I've got both of them selected. Okay. Now you can go up here to univariate. All right. And I think the, if I remember correctly, the confidence intervals appear here in the one sample test. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Univariate, two sample tests. And then go over to two sample test, FT, etc. Okay. All right. So notice we have a couple of things here. So there's a 95 confidence interval parametric and a 95 confidence interval bootstrap. All right. The one you want to use is the 95 confidence interval parametric. So its lower value is negative 5.767 and its upper value is 6.308. Okay. So as you can see, that actually includes 0 in that confidence interval. All right, now let's see what else we can do. If you wanted to get a count, you can sort of see that. Notice there's like 30 boys and 48 girls. Okay, so again, to find the confidence interval using past, select the two columns, go to univariate, go to two sample test, and then you have to go over here and select two sample tests, FT, Mann-Whitney, etc. Select that one. And here you have a confidence interval around the difference between means. All right. So if you wanted to, if you actually calculated the means and subtracted them, I mean, you can see they're actually really close. See, there's the mean. There's some descriptive statistics up here at the beginning. And this gives me a difference between the means. As you can see, it's really, really low. Notice here's some other information. There's a 95% confidence interval that's like a sample interval just for the boys, and another sample interval just for the girls. Okay? All right. So that's how you find confidence intervals using past. And with that, I will conclude this little short video.